Hi, my name is Kelly and I'm from Texas. I was born into a rich family. My dad was the CEO of a huge tech company, and my mom was the top lawyer in the state. Life was good. Or so I thought. One night, I woke up to some noises from downstairs. What could that be? I headed down, but no one was in the kitchen or in the living room. The noises sounded like banging. Eventually, I followed the noises to a strange door I'd never noticed before. I reached my hand out to the doorknob, then suddenly, my mom leapt out. Ah!
Honey, what are you doing here? You should be in bed.
What's behind this door, Mom?
Nothing that concerns you. Come on, off to bed.
I ran upstairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. I soon forgot all about the mystery door and the strange noises. That is, until once in 10th grade, my friend Alex pulled me aside in the cafeteria.
Kelly, I have some good news.
What?
Adam has a crush on you.
What? How do you know?
His friend told me.
You see, I'd been crushing on Adam from the moment I laid eyes on him. He was the cutest guy in the school, with the cutest freckles and the sweetest smile. No way!
You have to ask him out.
At first, I said no, but eventually Alex somehow convinced me to ask him out the next day. I approached Adam by his locker. Hey, Adam.
Oh, hey, Kelly.
I decided to just go for it. Do you want to go out with me? Adam looked confused.
No thanks.
Adam walked away. I was heartbroken. I ran home, stormed into my bedroom, and cried myself to sleep. The next morning, I woke up with puffy eyes. I checked my phone and saw a message from someone I never would have expected. Adam.
Hey, I'm sorry for my blunt reply yesterday. Would you still like to go out with me?
I felt like my heart had grown wings and was flying to heaven. Yes, I wanted to reply. But instead, I texted, sure, tonight at my house.
It's a date.
He even put a heart emoji. And not just the regular blue or green heart, a red heart. I was so smitten. Several hours later, there was a knock at the door. It was Adam. I invited him in and we sat on the couch with some chips and soda. We were making small talk and it was going pretty well.
What is that?
Adam was pointing at the mystery door. I had totally forgotten about it until then. Oh, I don't know, some random door, I guess?
Let's see what's in there.
Sure. We approached the door and Adam lifted his hand, just about to open the door. Suddenly, Dad appeared, almost out of nowhere.
Hey guys, do you want some cookies?
Dad steered us away from the door and into the kitchen. I looked at Dad strangely. He normally didn't bother chatting to any of my guests. Dad sat us down at the kitchen table and offered a plate of cookies. We sat there for a bit, just chatting, and then Adam stood up.
I need to use the bathroom.
It's down the hall to the right. Adam left and almost 20 minutes passed without any sign of him.
Is he doing number 2?
I hit Dad playfully. Dad! I left to go and check on Adam, but as I turned the corner, I stopped in my tracks. The mystery door. It was open. I realized that I'd never seen it open before. Suddenly, I wondered, what was down there? Memories of my childhood swarmed to the surface. The noises. My parents' strange behavior. Were they hiding something? I slowly approached the open door when suddenly Dad grabbed my arm.
Kelly, stay here.
Dad sounded really serious. He left me and entered the open door, disappearing from sight. I waited there silently, uncertain what to do. About 2 minutes later, Dad returned with Adam. Except Adam looked horrified, literally as if he'd seen a ghost. I was shocked. What had happened to him?
You're forbidden to meet with Adam ever again.
I looked at Dad. What was he talking about? Dad locked the door, left without a word, and took Adam with him. I just stood there, confused, out of my mind. The next day, I immediately found Adam at school. He was by his locker again. Adam, what happened last night?
Who are you?
I was taken aback. It's me? Kelly? We went on a date last night.
A date?
Adam scoffed.
As if. I would never go on a date with you.
Adam walked away. Okay, now I was really confused. Had Adam forgotten all about our date? Why was he pretending it never happened? I watched Adam walk away and decided that maybe Dad was right. I would stop talking to him. I went to my next class. While I scrolled through Instagram on my phone, bored out of my mind by Mr. Johnson's dull voice, I heard my name over the speakers.
Miss Kelly, please report to the principal's office.
I frowned. I got up and headed to the principal's office. My parents were there too.
Hello, Kelly. Your parents are here to pick you up. You are being unenrolled from this school.
What? My dad said nothing. They took me home and sat me down on the couch. Mom? Dad? Is everything all right?
We have some news, honey.
Good news or bad news?
We're moving.
My jaw dropped. I was devastated. I loved my school, my friends, my home. But despite all my protests, my parents weren't having it. And to make matters worse, we were leaving the next day. I wouldn't even be able to have a goodbye party. The next day came and I managed to say goodbye to Alex, but that was it. We packed everything. My parents had somehow managed to sell the house already, and we left. We drove to a town on the other side of the state, completely in the middle of nowhere. My new school was this old, dingy place with just a few students. I hated it. And it was so weird. The weirdest thing about it was that they had this strange policy where everyone had to wear masquerade masks. One time in class, we were sitting there listening to the teacher when suddenly a loud scream echoed through the halls. The next thing we knew, the door flew open and this girl appeared. She had on a red masquerade mask, and she looked around the room like a wild animal. She started running around the room, wrecking things, throwing books off the shelves. She even grabbed the chalk from the teacher's hand and broke it in half. I was scared out of my mind. What was wrong with this girl? Even weirder still, none of my other classmates nor the teachers seemed concerned. They acted like this was just an average Tuesday. Eventually, after about 10 minutes, the girl calmed down and took a seat at the back of the class. I was frozen with shock. This school was weird. Later that day, I entered the cafeteria. It was less of a cafeteria and more of a tiny kitchen, and sat down among the other students. I stirred my meatloaf, which I'm pretty sure had a toenail in it, when I heard a commotion behind me. 2 students were tormenting another student. I looked again and recognized the girl with the red mask, the one from my class before. The 2 students were laughing and shoving her.
You freak!
The girl cowered on the floor. I got up and confronted them. Hey, leave her alone. The 2 kids looked at me now.
Ew, does this little freak have a girlfriend?
One kid shoved me and the other shoved the girl. I fell and my mask was ripped off, revealing my face. All the students gasped when they realized I wasn't wearing my mask anymore. I looked up angrily, but then I froze. The other girl had her mask ripped off too. I could see her face and it looked exactly like mine. Everyone was staring at us. They looked from my face to hers, all thinking the same thing. They look exactly the same. I was too shocked to speak. The other girl seemed like she was too shocked to speak too. But then she suddenly grabbed her mask and placed it back on and ran out the door. Hey, wait! But the girl was already gone. I got back home and immediately told my parents what had happened.
Oh, honey, you probably just imagined it.
But
Don't worry about it. Just focus on your studies and forget about what you thought you saw.
I sighed. Maybe Mom was right. I returned to school the next day. I tried to find the girl with the red mask again, but she wasn't there. I hadn't imagined her, right? I decided to listen to my mom and just focus on my studies. Well, sort of. My mind was sort of distracted by this other thing. Well, a boy to be exact. I was by my locker grabbing my books for my next class. I turned around and bumped into another student. My books and papers went flying.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The boy said. It's okay. I bent down to gather my papers and the boy helped as well.
Hey, I'm Jerry.
I'm Kelly.
Listen, you're in my math class, right?
I looked up. I thought I recognized his blue mask. Yeah, I think so.
Do you wanna, study together sometime? I could really use the help.
I felt my face go red. I was thankful this mask hid my face from him. Sure. We agreed on a date and soon we were study partners. Jerry was so sweet. We would study together every evening at my house and my parents seemed chill about it too. When we were at home, we were allowed to take our masks off. And the first time we did, I felt my heart skip a beat. Jerry was so cute. Like seriously, the cutest guy I'd ever seen. I soon started to develop a crush on him. He was cute, sweet, kind. What more could you ask for? But what happened next changed everything. It was Friday. I was looking forward to the weekend and a break. I called Jerry but got no answer. That's strange. Maybe he was by his locker. I went over to his locker to check, but then I got the shock of my life. It was Jerry kissing another girl. My heart literally shattered in my chest. I could almost hear it crack apart like shattered glass. Jerry, how could you? Jerry broke away and looked at me in confusion.
How?
The girl he was kissing looked at me and I gasped. It was her. The girl who looked just like me. Except instead of her usual red mask, she was wearing a green mask exactly like mine.
Kelly? What?
The girl, my twin, stepped back and bolted. Nuh-uh, you're not getting away this time. I chased after her. It was like a Mission Impossible chase scene or something. I followed her through the school all the way out into the parking lot and into the woods. Eventually, I got lost and stopped to catch my breath. Then I felt a shadow behind me. Ah! I spun around. The girl, she was standing right there. She took off her mask and looked at me. What are you doing here? I was paralyzed with fear. What? Who are you? Why do you look exactly like me? The girl hesitated. You don't know? I shook my head. You really don't know? Wow. Okay, well, you may want to sit down. We sat down right there on the ground and the girl, who I learned was called Katie, explained everything. And boy, did she blow my mind. My name is Katie and I'm your clone. You may not know this, but I've been living in your basement for the past 15 years. That is until one day your friend, I think his name was Adam, opened the door. I saw my chance. I ran past him and broke out of my prison. Your parents were holding me captive there. You see, I was a failed experiment, an accidental clone. And they knew if the world found out about me, they would go to prison, or worse. But I couldn't bear being stuck down there anymore. I had to be free. So I escaped and I made it here. Katie paused. I felt like my mind was caving in. My clone? I was struggling to process all this. But Jerry, I'm sorry about that. I thought you knew about me too. I thought you were also keeping me captive. I hated you. That's why I kissed Jerry. Oh, I hesitated, then laid down on my back, gazing up at the sky. So, you're like my twin. I guess so. We were silent for a few seconds. Listen, please don't tell anyone about me, especially not your parents. If they find out where I am, they'll imprison me again. I hesitated. What should I do? Katie did seem pretty crazy. Maybe she shouldn't be let out into the world, but maybe she was just a girl who wanted to be free. I started laughing. You're a lunatic. You really think I'm gonna let you be free? I took out my phone to call my dad, but before I could, Katie snatched my phone. You're a jerk! She ran off. I watched her leave, watched my own clone disappear into the woods, and I never saw her again.